Hello, everyone. If this is your first time listening to Parenting Paused, I'm Leslie Potter with Pure Joy Parenting. This is my favorite way to share with you is to share about my experience in parenting. Again, I don't consider myself an expert. I consider myself a parent. I am a parent coach. I'm a therapist. I'm all of those things. But everything I'll be sharing with you is from my experience, and I really support you in living into your experience. I'm a firm believer that all of our experiences are different. They're based in our conditioning, our programming as we grew up, our parenting templates. So we're each going to have a different experience. So trying to take someone else's experience and to project that into yours or onto yours, I found didn't work. Now, you can hear other people's experiences and check in with your own and see if those gel with you. And yet, internally, your experience is yours based on your history. One of the ways you'll know this is if you have a partner, they are going to have a different history than you do. So they are going to be triggered by different things in their parenting, and they're going to come and have different interpretations and conclusions about your child's behavior. So let's talk about that this week. Oh my goodness, those conclusions and those interpretations that we come to, yes? Now remember, our little ones are basically, they are not programmed yet. The younger they are, the less programming they have or conditioning they have. So they're just being who they are. You know, when they see somebody, they tell you exactly how it is. They talk about everything. They share everything. They share their feelings. They don't lock them down or repress them. So they basically are just sharing whatever they are experiencing. Now, often when they do this, we interpret that, and of course we do, we interpret that through our belief systems, and it's usually a belief system about us, or a belief system that we were taught that children weren't supposed to do certain things and children were supposed to act certain ways. We always hear that. All children need to this, children need that, all children should. And yet, remember, they didn't come in with knowing all of this. They are just innocently expressing who they are in their development level. And of course, they're going to develop over time. But when we see something, let's say a child talks back to you, that was big in my family, you don't talk back. My dad would interpret that as disrespect. Well, it wasn't disrespect for me as a child. It was me trying to express my opinion, or it was me trying to express how I saw things. But often, if that was interpreted as disrespect, of course, I got in big trouble. I was told to shut it down, even though everyone says they wanted me to tell the truth. No one really wanted to hear my truth. So I want you to think about this. When your child exhibits a behavior or expresses a feeling, you have an interpretation of that. And it makes it very hard to stay with the present moment and to be with your child without that interpretation, because it's going to go through your system. You're going to see a behavior. It's going to reflect back into you. You're going to remember a time when you got in trouble for acting that way, or someone told you you were disrespectful. And then it's going to filter through all of your programming and conditioning. And the next thing you know, you're going to interpret their behavior maybe as disrespectful. Woo, this is a big one. And it really takes a lot to unwind this, because once we believe they're disrespectful, of course, we want to change them outside. We want to tell them that's disrespectful. You can't do that. And basically, we're saying, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I am not interested, because it needs to be in a form where I can hear it and aligns with my values and my template. Woo, this is a challenging one. So notice this week, this is going to be your practice, is to notice when your child acts a certain way, What is your interpretation? Now, remember, interpretation is not good or bad or right or wrong, but you're going to ask yourself, why am I interpreting that way? And does that interpretation stop me from actually listening and being willing to hear what my child has to say? All right, lovies, love to hear from you. You can always write me at Leslie@purejoyparenting.com. Ask me questions. I would love to hear some of your questions so I could talk about them on the podcast. You can always go over to my website and get a free Safe Seat video. It's a 5-day series and learn the foundational practice in Pure Joy. All right, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.